Sorry about that. OBS crashed again because it hates me. Give me a second. No, it's not you. My OBS decided to say, fuck you, essentially. I'm so glad YouTube gives you the option to copy text, so you don't have to retype them in all over again. Fuck. Yeah, sorry about that. OBS essentially decided to say, fuck you. Let's continue on. Okay. The Ferris will continue to run on its set unchanging path, always forward, never back. Even in brightness of a summer day, a shadow fell over Dedek's face. Well, you succeeded in making me happy. Is it if I asked if you had fun too? That is so like you, Shuffle. Wait. Or should I say you're very sweet? You're better. His gaze dropped and his voice was low, heavy with the weight of emotional strain.
Thank you.
Thanks to you, I finally got to feel like I did when I was a kid for a little while. That means a lot. I've been chasing that since I got here. The big park, all dark and empty. Dedek's pained confession. The scene all flashed through your mind. His words rung out. He felt how he felt. He lost so much and could never get it back. Maybe that wasn't entirely true after all. The soft smile on his face was exactly the same as the boy you once knew. Hey, remember the time you stayed over at my place and we camped in the living room? We talked about the future, our dreams. The Father's Day thing might have been more of a bombshell, but I haven't forgotten the rest of that adventure. Yeah, same. We had such grand plans decades ago, huh?
Oh man.
Now we're here and I have no idea what I'm doing. Dedek pressed himself into the heavy into the heavy metal wall behind the seat and slumped down. I bet my 13-year-old self would have demanded a refund if he called a psychic and they told him what direction his life was gonna go in, and that it would still lead to getting together with you. That's obviously made up. Is it though? I mean, come on, Dedek. Everyone knows you're too polite to ask for your money back. You're right, but I would have thought about it. I'd have made a great speech in my head about how it's only fair to not have to pay for a reading like that. Derek's voice faded out, replaced by the sound of his fingers tapping against the seat. One after another, they played a rapid beat like the fluttering of a heart.
This sucks.
Sucks. That sucks that there's no way to actually know what's gonna happen in the future, huh?
Forget it.
At least today was fun. A good break from having to be grown-ups. Yeah. I wonder when we'll see each other again. Yeah. You had to appreciate the attempt at optimism. It didn't stop you from being bummed that it was all over. He grinned, staring at you head on. Hey, you should come by sometime. Whenever you want to, or can anyway. Whenever? You sure about that? Yup.
Leave it to me.
It's my apartment. I'm an adult. I can say that Salem Pauws is allowed to visit all the time. She declared it proudly, with a foul air of haughtiness in the pitch of. If his pitch had been a little higher, the statement would have been a fairly accurate imitation of Liz. It was all more than a little silly. But the smile grew on your face, stopped short of becoming full. Derek's bold faced confidence was only pretend. Regret remains hidden behind every smile. I'm not gonna be too busy for you anymore. I figured out what my actual priorities are way later than I should have. But I did. Why does my stream look so blurry on YouTube? What the fuck? Whatever.
I swear.
Part of that is being someone you could actually count on again. So my door is always open.
The truth is,
Since you've been here, I finally started to see a future I want to have. I thought about it more and more, and it keeps coming back to the same thing. I don't want to be this far away from you. That was all. That was it all along. The entire time you've been staying with him, and even before you'd actually arrived, those were the words Derek had been holding back. He didn't restrain them any longer. I was hoping to be closer to you when I lived in the next city over. Being neighbors was my dream. I wasn't totally kidding about that. But I wasted all those years we had being at a manageable travel distance from each other. I pushed off facing you for real until I reached a perpetually moving goalpost. I regret that. I still do. I don't know if it'll ever stop pissing me off. There caught that his long-held anger began to carry him. He squeezed his eyes shut and forced a shaky, though steadying exhale out. That's not what matters, though. I can't redo the past. I gotta focus on what I can do. And what's that? I can move. I could live next to you now. The falling darkness of the past faded over the shining hope of a better tomorrow. Why not, right? It's not as if I'd be canceling any amazing plans. I gave up everything before you got here. So this would be this would be the best time for it. I don't have to renew my lease, and the career ideas I don't have to renew my lease, and the career ideas I do I do have to come with me, so I can start them somewhere else. Or hell, if you're wanting to come back to this area for more than a vacation, I could keep the apartment and you could move in. I'd be up for either if you are. We could be there for each other day by day. For the first time, Dedek had expressed the whole and honest truth of what he wanted for his life, for himself. It wasn't about his family, or only for your sake. But even then, Dedek couldn't help pre-compromising his preferences. He doubted the appeal of his hopes to anyone other than himself.
Don't worry about that.
I get it if you think it'd be overkill, or if you're still worried about how it'd work out. It wouldn't have to be forever. He winks, cheeky and familiar. I'm not asking you to marry me again. Maybe it'd last for only a year, and then we'll have new plans. I'm gonna need time to figure out the long term either way. So that's it. Dedek's new plan. What do you think? I think it's perfect. I'll help you house hunt. One critique. You don't need to find a place. You can live with me. It was obvious as soon as he said it, you questioned why it took this long to realize you could simply be near each other if you wanted. And the next instant, you remembered why neither of you pictured the other feeling the same way. You imagined Dedek was pursuing his sports dreams and never would have interrupted that. He saw himself as unworthy of others' acceptance until an abstract level of success was attained. But those days were both behind you. The answer you gave and the dazzling smile it gave Dedek was proof of it.
Really?
I mean, why not? You nodded with complete resolve. There wasn't any need for doubt. Because for some reason, it can't go higher than 360. Yeah. Like, it looks blurry as hell on my computer. Absolutely Dedek schwaz. Woo! His arm shot up as he whooped out a victorious cheer. Unfortunately, the Ferris wheel car wasn't built for that kind of celebration. Its fist cracked directly against the metal ceiling of the cabin.
Oh.
Ah! Oh, baby, you okay? Quinny laughed, heartedly shaking off his smirking knuckles. Nothing was gonna bring him down. He started to ramble off, moving logistics and preparations that needed to be made. Informing the landlord that he wouldn't be renewing his lease was paramount, but he was positive she wouldn't mind. Most of what he had was still packed from his prior move, so that would make the process easier. And once again, he expressed gratefulness that he had furnished that apartment himself. It was dry, grown-up responsibility and stuff, yet it sparked more excitement in you than any amusement park could have. Dedek was able to rein in the frenzied babbling long enough to attend a hand towards you intently. You understood what he meant by that. The place, the time of day, the terms. So much of the situation was entirely different from the first time Dedek had made you an offer, but the feelings behind it remained the same. This is going to bug me. I'm gonna refresh this computer and hope that it looks better. There we go. An earnest desire to not be separated. You took hold of one another securely and shook.
It's a deal.
Oh yeah, I forgot our character. I gave our character dark skin. Deal. Aw, so cute. Now get married already, you weirdos! Wow. He slowly let you go before staring down at his hand in a wide-eyed disbelief, as if it wasn't his. But it was. Dedek had taken his own life into that hand of his. You believe he wouldn't lose hold of it ever again? I actually did it. He scuffed his fingers curled. He scuffed his fingers curled into a fist. Then he lifted his intense green eyes to your face. Dedek had grown and he'd held himself back. He changed and he'd remained himself. He developed into an adult. He should be proud of. And he was still the boy you met 10 years ago. It was all true at once. It was all true at once, and it made you happier than you could say. I'm feeling better about the future already. Thanks, Salem. Dedek had gained genuine confidence. He trusted his own decisions now. Dedek had gained genuine confidence. He trusted his own decisions now that they were made to seek the best instead of to hide from the worst. Nothing in the world was more heartening than that. I am too, Dedek. Dedek satisfyingly stretched out his arms in front of him. He learned his lesson about moving them higher. Well, I might not really know what I'm doing with my own life, but I've at least got a first step. Now I've got to get packing. Yes, you do, my dear. I can settle more of it later. You shook with the swaying of your personal cabin of laughter. Dedek sniggered himself, but clung to a piece of the prior seriousness.
Phew.
It's a relief, though. Feeling good about what's coming next is more than I had a few days ago. And 23 is not that old. There's plenty of time left to work it out. The world is your oyster, Dedek. You've got more figured out than you think. I absolutely agree. You don't need your whole life planned anyway. I'm gonna say, the world is your oyster?
You know it.
Looks like it. You're usually right about stuff. No. No, I am not. For the first time in his waking hours, Derek was completely at peace with himself. He says, nah, we're doing this. He pressed a sweet, feather-like kiss on the corner of his soft mouth. Derek's breath flicked her way when he snorted. His head tickled him, literally and metaphorically. Still, he kept you close, wrapping his heavy arm around your shoulders. Derek was there with you, and you with him. For that, you were grateful.
Well...
Hey, Salem? His voice was a gentle whisper, as if it was half in a dream. Does this count as a second date? Oh, your cheeks burned pleasantly. You smeeched your snicker. Stop being adorable! Goddamn! You smeeched your cheek. Snickers was slipping through his lips. I'd say we're doing pretty good at this relationship thing. Me too, Derek. I'd say we're doing... Oops.
Congrats.
Another idea to add to the list. Your spirits had flown straight to the moon like a pair of shooting stars. Though, physically, you were still in the gently drifting cabin and its position was on the decline. The ride came to its end. You were ready for that and whatever else you'd inevitably face. You had a teammate at your side to tackle life's changes with. Whenever your cabin arrived at the bottom, you took your turn to dismount. The same attendant gestured towards the tall framed exit gate, and thank you for coming. Doing as instructed, you left the periscope behind you. Derek took wide, peppy steps to clear the way for the next passenger to get through.
Whoa.
Then he abruptly came to a complete halt. What time is it again? I completely forgot that was probably gonna be our last stop. He was glancing all around as if he'd be able to spot a clock floating in the air with enough persistence. Eventually, he recalled his own cell phone. He discreetly chuckled while he dug it out of his sweatpants pocket. Yep, damn. We gotta go. We might be pushing it a little already. You've got people to see. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta move. Let's go, 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 go! Hustle, 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 hustle! Derek shoved his phone back into its pocket with a terse sigh. The second I have fun, being responsible goes out the window. I'm sorry. Hey, it's not like I was doing any better. And we were both enjoying ourselves. No one's gonna be mad. Thanks. You're right. Thanks, you're great. I won't waste time worrying about wasting time, right? Exactly. Exactamundo. Let's head out. Together, you bounced across the boardwalk one last time. The energy still filling the area was thrilling, and the rush made it easier to leave it behind. Soon you were packed into Derek's car, and on the long trip to your second home after having made the most of the afternoon you've got. One long drive back from the park, there were moments of conversation and of quiet, of reminiscing about the past and imaginations about the future. Of course, the now upcoming move was a major source of discussion. excited to announce it to everyone that you were all together. You determined it would be best to tell people once the details were figured out. You know what? I'm not responsible. The decision had been made, so there was no reason to hide it. Sitting in the passenger seat over those hours, you sometimes felt as if you had left that Ferris wheel cabin in the sky. The atmosphere of Dedek's car had a similar way about it that made you feel disconnected from the rest of the world. No one else could reach you or him, and you could say anything there. But there was a major difference. The peace and comfortable status was only an illusion. You weren't on the slow, unchanging path of that park ride. Dedek was speeding down a California highway in a race against time. There was a party at the end of the road, and Dedek was never one to be late. When he finally pulled in the apartment complex's parking lot, the car went silent. Its leg of the relay was over, and the frantic whir and rush had to be carried on with your own flesh and bones. Not a moment was wasted snatching up the few belongings that you'd brought along and booking it towards the building. You passed no one in the halls. Dedek had his key in hand, already prepared to unlock the door. And when that was swung open, you saw the living room you'd grow so accustomed to empty. The space was untouched since you left early that morning, at least as far as you can remember, but Dedek didn't celebrate an early victory. He put a finger to his lips and made a show of checking behind the couch and around the kitchen counter just to make certain his family hadn't used their spare keys to repair another surprise. He trailed behind Dedek step for step as he dramatically sulked about his own house. He'd chuck around the corner and you'd try to get a look over his broad shoulders to see too. Nicholas and Liz could absolutely not be trusted. If they came by the apartment and found you and Dedek gone, they would almost certainly play the same joke twice. Or they hadn't gotten the chance. Dedek stood tall and concluded his inspection with that revelation. We've done it! No one is here. We spent the whole day and still beat them. With a cheer, he fully relished the victory now that it was truly assured.
Man.
A boardwalk day with Salem being on time and getting to see the family before the day's over? Things really are going my way, huh? It's perfect. Dedek saying the day was perfect made it so for you too. After a lifetime of compromises and sacrifices, you were proud to see him get exactly what he wanted. And it was more than a little thrilling that a significant part of what he wanted was you. You episode we spelled tonight. Aesthetics Day should be a national holiday. I'm gonna say, I feel the same way. No, I'm glad we got to do this. Yeah. His voice was gentle, and his gaze soft with affection. But as Dede came nearer to you, the warmth shot up to slurdy, to sultry. Oh, sultry. But as Derek came near to you, the warmth shot up to sultry. With a single spark, it would burst.
You're seriously great.
You're a great girlfriend. I hope you know that. I know. Liz had been so certain none of the Schwarzmen could woo anyone. She would have had to eat those words if she ever saw Derek truly put his mind to it. Thanks. Is there anything else you might like from your great girlfriend? You smell. Okay. Are you saying it's perfect? There's something else I'd make you do? Okay. They might for your from your great girlfriend. It was only fair to flirt back a little with how strong he was coming on. Yet the reply made his lips quirk. He doubted his ears and nearly lost his composure. What he didn't do was quiet. He didn't tell himself or you what was wrong, or there was a mistake either. Derek held a coy smile with confidence he'd managed to store away for emergencies, and indulged in further romantic pursuits.
Well.
Honestly, right now, all I really want is to be alone with you. Okay. Things are getting hot and steamy. I'm gonna have to end stream. You guys don't need to see what's about to happen. Oh my god. I'm going to level 9 of hell. No, I'm going to the forbidden level of hell. Once again, he closed in on you. This time, you were near enough that your nose was almost touched. It's pretty convenient that we gotta put our places to where Syl's permitted, huh? Well, yes. This is being secret bedroom. Derek had played it very cool, but in that instant, he lit right up aglow from head to toe. Ah! Guys, this might be the day I actually go to hell. Oh, definitely. This is the right timing for that place. For that final piece of the tour. Oh my god. Yeah, we're going to hell. Guys, I'm gonna end stream. Good night, everybody. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I know you guys want to see me read this. Perfect. Okay, but before anything else, maybe I should wipe the shooting star off my face? He snorted a laugh like you were your mom. That was not exactly a romantic thing to bring up now. However, it was fittingly practical and Derek-esque. Now leave it, it's cute. You nodded. It was fun while it lasted, but it had to go. Oh, phew, I was right. I had to point it out to you. You're not keeping the skull. That's right, it's only fair if you're giving up the star.
Let's get to it.
Well, let's do it. I'll meet you back so fast you won't even miss me. He bolted from the living room counting on you to follow. You did. Derek went to the master bedroom, and you, the guest one. You twisted the sink on and assaulted the skull with hot water and a pale yellow hand towel until it was erased from existence. R.I.P. You wiped down the areas as best as you could, then threw the towel aside. With the job done, you hastily returned to the living room. Then it came up right behind you. Oh my god. Things are about to get hot and steamy, oh my god. Maybe I should have saved this for an evening stream. But damn! All I can say is damn! Woo! Hey! Upon reaching you, he bent over, leaning against his knees, and settled on his heavy breathing. His cheek was rubbed raw, though you wouldn't notice the tautness of the skin and slightly redness until you were searching for it. Then Dedek bounced back, seeming as upbeat and unflappable as ever. Now, as we were. Oh my god. My cats. Meow? Meow? What the fuck? It was a dramatic and complete recovery. You had to wonder if it was a trained skull. There might have been many days where Dedek frantically put out fires of his own luster before presenting himself before you with a big smile. You never stopped finding reasons to fall for him. Oh my. Guys, you might wanna cover your eyes and your ears. Meow, meow, meow. Oh my lord! You left the main area of the apartment behind to hide away together in the very back corner. The neat and simple room was very aesthetic. Not that you paid much attention, you hadn't come to see if the carpets must match the drapes. Not unless that was a double entendre. He slipped both of his arms under yours, wrapping you up in him. Let me just... I am way too into this. You were cozy like that, you didn't need anything else more. Oh, you were absolutely ready to pounce on the man. Listen, whatever Derek wanted whatever Derek wanted, you would be more than happy with. Sliding oh my god. I can't fucking read this! I can't fucking read. Oh my lord! Oh my lord! Okay, Kitten, calm down. Sliding. Oh my god, I can't do this! I can't fucking do this! I can't fucking do this! Okay. Ah! Alright, okay, listen. Sliding a hand down to the bottom of your spine. Dedek kept you steady as he led both of you onto the edge of his bed. Oh boy! He sat comfortably on the mattress with you straddling his lap. Neither of you had any plans of untangling from each each other. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh my God! Jesus Christ! Yup! That is static! All hot, spicy, and muscular! Oh boy! Oh God! Oh God, I need an adult and some holy water. Oh my gosh! Control your imagination, Kitty. No! I refuse! I absolutely fucking refuse! You can't make me, dude! They're just straddling. They're just straddling. Listen, things about to get yummy in here. Derek was incredibly warm in personality and as a love suit. That, and in that position, you caught a similarly warming fragrance that clung to his skin. Oh, man, bye! 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 Ah! Listen. You can't tell me this boy isn't yummy. The room's hot, but not because the air condo is hot. Yup. That is 130% correct, Moon. He was not one for intentionally perfuming himself, but the gentle nutty scent about him had you guessing that aesthetic used shea butter lotion. Ooh, and he's soft. Like, he's more muscular and soft. Ayo. I am not mad at this at all. Anybody else want to bite him? No? Okay, I'll bite him then. Nutty. Oh my God. Oh God. Well, have you ever used shea butter? It has a nutty scent. And if it was poisonous, I'm sure it'd have a nutty taste. The position on your knees gave an unusual vantage point. You are the one looking down on him for once in your life. What? For once? Is that accurate to say? Because we saw him when... Because we met when we were 13, and do you guys remember how short he was? Dennis glanced up at you through lidded eyes. A quiet smile played about his face. He might have jokingly protested others eclipsing his height in the past, but he definitely wasn't complaining about the current arrangement. It suited him exactly right. Oh my God. Oh my Lord! Oh my all holy anime Kami-sama! Wait. I don't think we were shorter. I think we were about the same height when we were 13. If I remember correctly. But boy, damn! After you, or would I go first? He was polite even then. Naturally, relaxed your hands over his shoulders. Let's go, boat. Listen, I am a switch. You all know this. Isn't getting on top of you already a first move? You joked. I like the sound of that. Oh my gosh! Oh my lord. We're going to hell. We are absolute. I'm going to hell for reading this. You guys are going to hell for watching me read this. Ah! But hot damn, dude! You did get that impression. You would have, whether he said so or not. Simply from the light inside his eyes, Devik was more fired up than you'd ever seen him. Oh my god. Ah! I almost wish this was an evening stream. Holy shit. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was a Christian stream. What do you mean? What do you mean? This is just a family-friendly say-so Minecraft server. Yup, that's exactly what this is. Don't mind me, just, you know, going down in hard on some Minecraft creepers. You know, as you would. I assume. I don't know. I mean, I totally know. I totally play Minecraft. Totally say so. What do you mean? I am say so. Most of the time. He cradled your head with one hand, still keeping the other on your lower back. You moved with them, easing lower until your faces could meet. Down horrendous. I don't know what you all mean. Squiz. Michelle? Why are you looking at me like that? You know, I am the most innocent being ever. Jesus Christ, Angel, don't scare me like that. Also, get out of here. You are too young for this. You're only 2. Hi, baby. He kissed you tentatively but lingering. He was making sure it was right, and that it was real. Oh my lord. Bonk. Why am I getting bugged? Huh? Is it because I have a yummy boy in a bedroom? I'm in a yummy boy's bedroom? Is that what this is about, Michelle? Listen. You can't tell me. You wouldn't want to do some things with this dude. You can't. Look. You can't. That body, though. You were smiling at each other when it ended. There was no mistake here. Only two people who want sung the same song. Ooh. Trail light picks down is hot. That is something I would do. Oh my god. Playfully, you trailed tiny kisses down his neck, collar of his shirt, and you got in one extra by nudging the hood a bit with your nose. Oh, what? Meow. Oh. Bunk. Why am I getting bugged, huh? Listen. Tell me okay, my cat. For those of you who are still in my chat, if this were happening right now with some super high guy, especially if they're fictional, tell me you would not be all over this. Look me straight in my 3D model's eyes and tell me you wouldn't fucking be down for this. Fully deserve those. How? Please elaborate. even more. A little too much. Yeah. You know why. What do you mean I know why? Because you would do the same thing and you don't want to admit it? It's not what it is, Michelle. You were both so distracted. Neither of you realized what was coming when he dropped his head in a happy sigh until his chin squished you into his shoulder blades. Woman, I do not have a big enough bong for you. Oh, is this your way of trying to tell me I'm right? We both, wait, okay. So you're telling me, you, ringmaster, leader of fucking Pastel Circus, would not be all over this? Even a little. Come on. Try looking me straight into my eyes and tell me you wouldn't. Oh, come on, we're weebs. We all dream about getting with some hot anime dude. Single or not. That's what I thought. Okay, I'll shrink myself back down. so you guys can actually read what I'm saying. I regret absolutely nothing. You were both so distracted, neither of you realized what was... Oh, read this already. Oof. I'm sorry. You stepped right back up, but still pulled you off to check on your state. Are you okay? Oh. Do we bite? Yes. You lovingly been to his neck for that. Oh! I really hope nobody in my building comes at me for being so fucking loud. But goddamn! Yum! And just like you'll regret nothing, I will never regret having the emergency bong right next to me at all times. Worth it! And would absolutely do again. Hi, baby boy. He yelped as soon as your teeth took hold of the sensitive area. You win, or it's even now? Oh, don't act like you're not enjoying it, baby. Yeah. Good.
Are you sure?
So, you're really alright? I am. No damage was done. Static squeezed you tight in a hug. Careful with where his face went. And laughed wholeheartedly. You embraced him in return, overflowing with affection for your extensive, considerate boyfriend. Oh my gosh! This boy makes my mouth water. Bye! Do we reach under the hood? You kissed again. Once again, your mouth was locked around his. Derek tilted himself towards your touch, kissing you in return. He squeezed your thighs. Oh boy! Dude, there were people watching. There are people watching. I'm totally not turned on right now. I'm totally not into this. Nope, not me. Who the fuck am I kidding? I'm totally into this. The intensity deepened. You pressed your lips against each other in a much more longing kiss. You gasped for a breath, and you asked for a breath when you and him finally broke apart. Zeta could only speak in a hoarse whisper. You're really great. I complimented him. Nobody makes me happy. I'm gonna say, oh, you're the best man I've ever known. Ooh, no. Ooh, you're so diving. He cupped his cheeks as he spoke to express your feelings with more than words. Thanks. His reply had the exact amount of aw shucks bashful disbelief it would have if you'd said it randomly while chilling at the park. Despite the fact that you were actually making out in his apartment. And probably doing it because listen, my cat. Yeah. Derek really decided to pause while getting hot and heavy to think, wow, Salem likes me. That's amazing. It was really cute. Do we reach under the hoodie? Oh, let's see this. You press your hips into it. The position you were in frankly demanded that it was too perfect. You came closer until you were up against Derek's chest and sunk lower and lower against him. Then you rocked your body into his lap. The loose gym shorts Derek had on slipped around smoothly underneath you. It was almost as if nothing at all was in the way of this sizzling friction. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I'm way too into this for my own fucking good. Ah! Derek's breath pitched, and you could tell that the jolt went through him. The shock seemed to genuinely stun Derek into immobility for a second. You hit a home run with that one. Yeah. Oh, you reached under his hoodie. You managed to get around the folds of Derek's sleeveless hoodie, but before you even grazed the body underneath, Derek was leaning away. I'm sorry, are you alright?
Forget it.
No, wait. Yes, forget it. I'm sorry. It's all good. I was just thinking I could help you with that if you want. Derek got a hold of his own signature red top and lifted it enough to expose a thin line of skin. He stopped there to check your expression. Oh. How about you let me help? Oh, how about you let me help? How about you let me help you help me?
Yeah.
Perfect. Both intently tugged at Derek's unnecessary bit of fabric. You got over his head and lobbed his shirt past you onto the floor. There we go. Oh, damn! I probably should have done that first. few bites to take it back. Derek rested back against the palms of his hat, totally satisfied in leaving his front fully exposed. He held no shyness going shirtless in front of you. In fact, you were positive he'd been aching for a chance to do exactly that. The map, bro. Yeah. It would have been improper to draw little attention to himself at the public water in the park. This was a scumbag. Never mind about you. You resumed the original plan and freely exposed Derek's app and depict everything else he put out on a silver platter for you. I could totally see myself doing this to someone. I am definitely going to hell. Meanwhile, Zedek's focus had zeroed in on your hand, roving over him. He was transfixed by the sight of it. Clearly, that's what showing himself off to you is for.
I swear.
Damn, this is Derek's day! Indeed, my dear sweet boy. Yes, this is the day you deserve for being such a good boy for me. Yeah? You're so adorable. It's fun making you blush. That was the biggest thrill you had and you had that was the biggest thrill you had and you weren't sure when, and you'd just got onto an amusement park earlier that week. You needed to relax. Aiming for more of a sit over a straddle, you slid your legs over to twist over the side and twisted onto your butt. Dedek kept his eyes in the same place around you, which stopped you from falling as you got situated. Thanks. Flushed in content, you rested your cheek against Dedek's chest. He was solid muscle from head to toe, but it wasn't uncomfortable support in the least. Quite the opposite. Ooh, yum. Yummy. If this happens one more time, I'm ending stream because I'm getting pissed.
You're welcome.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Zedek traced his fingers down the length of your spine. His burning touch had changed to a soothing balm. You welcomed it, snuggling closer. For once, Zedek didn't attempt to move right into a new conversation. His hands were full, going up and down your back. That was okay with you. And a dreaming haze, you gladly listened to heart, and his slow breaths. And the doorbell rang. Ah! He blinked wide, blurry-eyed. That was definitely the doors, the buzzer. But you could have fooled him into thinking it was an alarm clock from... But you could have fooled him into thinking it was an alarm clock waking him up from a fantasy.
This sucks.
Man, it's been, what, 5 minutes since we were preparing? And I already lost track of the party thing. And that we were expecting guests. Can we keep this going on for a little longer, please? This is too hot damn! Well, this time I can forgive myself for the slip up. That was a hell of a distraction. Oh well, it's nice laughter. Just rambled off to there. Ooh, do they even realize they're interrupting people? I forgot we even had families the second you started flirting. Zarek let out a bark of laughter, throwing his head back before promptly burying his face against you. He mumbled through a grin into the neighboring neck, each word his lips drag against your skin. Too late to cancel? I mean, no. I'm just kidding, we don't want to be rude. Even though he was joking, it was still something for both of you, but it couldn't be done. Mustering his years of experience being the responsible one, Derek hefted you and him onto your feet. It was time to go. He hunted down his abandoned hoodie and he got it back on. Luckily for him, it still looked presentable enough despite what had gone through.
Come on.
With a refreshed pep in your steps, you and Dedek said goodbye to your dreamland and returned to the world of the living, which took the form of Dedek's living room. Lord, that was hot. That was fucking hot. That was really fucking hot. Yeah. With the expectant smile that had been on Dedek's face, he pinned out into a bemused line. His brain was working, and then his mouth dropped open in a terrible realization.
Wait.
Didn't I invite them over for dinner? We didn't have time to make food. We could have set out snacks, but what kind of dinner party is that? I said that we'd have as much time as possible at third. I wasn't considering that meant we'd actually need a dinner. Shoot. We don't even have enough food in the house for how many people are coming. We can make this work. Yeah, exactly. It's fine. I've got an idea. We're gonna get takeout. How about pizza? And other stuff. And other stuff places like that have a salad, wings, and so on. And just like that, you regret nothing. Oh wait, never mind. I already read that. I feel like a dumbass. Well, eat something here. Ooh, good idea. Cool. I dropped my mouse. Again. And this is why I don't have a mic on my desk. I literally have no fucking space anywhere. held out a satisfied thumbs up. Now we better actually answer the door. He stuck a finger forward in demonstration of where he was headed and then strolled over. Thank you! The whole Schwartz family was there, crowding the narrow space with smiles on their faces. Your own family member did not have the same kind of cheer. Their lips were curved. They were here first. You took so long answering, I found them standing around waiting. Sorry about that. Damn! Sis! Don't look at us like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that about?
It's...
Well... What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I know this is California, but the rules still apply. The real secret of the day was your outing at the boardwalk, but a deep red over his cheeks exposed that it was a different choice that came to Derek's mind. Salem and I were just going over a game plan. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that excuse.
So?
Oh, what is the plan? We're gonna get pizza. My treat. Woo! God. Nico is just adorable. No matter how old Nico gets, he just stays the cutest little shit ever. Thank you, my wonderful son. That's very thoughtful of you. Works for me. Derek's last-minute solution had gotten full marks. Speaking with the self-satisfaction of a man who winged a final exam and still passed, Derek pretended this had gone as he had intended all along, even though this wasn't the intent. But it worked.
I figured.
I thought you might feel that way about it. Let's not order until everyone is here. Salem says Mrs. and Mrs. Pauws and Mr. Holden are gonna show up soon. Murmurs of understanding circulated as the group filled into the apartment. Derek took on the role of host with vigor and encouraged his guests to get comfortable. They accepted the hospitality and seats were taken all around. Well, how's your day been? Yeah, what were you up to? Mrs. Schwartz's entirely pleasant tone was followed up by the openly nosy inquiry from Nicholas. However, neither had gotten the curious hold up at the door. We had a great afternoon, talked about some very important things. Isn't that right, Salem? As usual, when he ended up in an awkward position, Derek took a strategy of technically not lying, but leaving out crucial details. Yep, that's exactly right. That's nice. Mrs. Schwartz didn't mind not getting the real answer that she knew. Mrs. Schwartz didn't mind not getting the real answer that she knew existed. She always did. Nicholas shrugged. He wanted more, but was mature enough not to demand it. Soon another the short ring of the doorbell came. You and your sister perked up at the most at that sound. It had been your parents. Liz disregarded the fact this was not her apartment and headed straight over to answer the door. You hurried to catch up with her. Aww, Pauws family and Mr. Holden. But he spied the Pauws family too. Liz tucked the handle, and there on the other side were the soft traces of your sweet mothers and the more sharply featured but no less kind Mr. Holden. Many hellos and good to see yous were said in success at the Pauws as the Pauws family joined with the Schwartz clan in Dedek's living room. It really is a party now. Not yet. There's still one thing missing. Let's talk topics. Dedek took a page out of his mother's book and offered an explanation to the newcomers who had to have wondered.
What do you think?
We're getting pizza if that's cool with you. Yum. That's fine, sweetie. No complaints here.
Nice.
Perfect. For the size of a crowd, I'd say we should get 3 large pizzas. A friendly round of suggestions and debates over the most ideal topping splits commenced. More than one person wanted meat and veggie supreme. The Schwartz parents both loved that one, and it had grown on their sons as they grew. Most agreed that having at least a couple simple options made sense, and Dedek declared his favorite, chicken barbecue, since he was the one making the order and couldn't be stopped. No one else in the group had any intention of ruining that for Dedek. It was incredible to see him decide on something purely for himself. That's how the plan of 1 meat and veggie supreme and half cheese, half pepperoni pizza, and half a piece of chicken barbecue was determined. Now, after suggestion for the last half, how about all veggies? Ooh, so you steak option, that sounds good. I'd like an Alfredo side, yes. What about Hawaiian? Can we get half meat? Oh, we should even get more veggie supreme. Used to be 6 extra pepperoni. God, Hawaiian and Alfredo both sound good. We got a spinach pesto pizza. Oh God, words cannot describe how much I love pesto. We're getting that. I do too. The room accepted your idea as well, and you ordered something besides pizza. Garlic bread, a chocolate chip cookie, a brownie, a cup of cola, lemonade, a couple of lemon limes. Garlic bread. I freaking love garlic bread. It's so good. Oh, okay. A lemonade? You know I have that here, right? Oh wait, no, never mind. We have that here. Okay, never mind. I want... whatever. A cup of lemonade. I don't have that here. Don't be so practical. Restaurant lemonade isn't the same as grocery store lemonade. Oh, right, I get it. A chocolate cookie. And that was all. That's all I really want. Liz teased you openly in front of the parents for making good use of being Dedek Street, and Nicholas, of all people, felt self-assured enough to joke about you being a spoiled youngest kid. That was hilarious coming from him. The most impactful blow you got came from Dedek himself, who gladly owned up to the idea that he'd spoiled you when you wanted him to. I'm a spoiled princess! top of that, Nico and George were both emboldened by your special request. Each of the younger Schwartz boys asked their big brother for a soda, root beer for George, and orange for Nicholas. Zedek gladly accepted the request. God, I want an orange float now. I might make one. Well, not today because I don't have orange soda or ice cream, but eh. After it was all said and done, Zedek made the call to the local police affiliate. He had it arranged for delivery. He glanced over at the attendees once he finished the task.
Oh, yeah.
We got some time to kill. Can I get anybody a drink? That goes for the three already getting something too. You don't have to wait to hydrate. What a kind host. Some requests were made for water and seats were taken to settle in for the wait. You got comfortable on your couch yourself. Then collected 2 armfuls of water. He went around the room passing drinks out to each person, even those who didn't ask for one. It seemed staying refreshed was not an option after all. It was an order. You will take care of yourself and you will like it. You and all the others near the coffee table got served first. Then he went around the dining table to catch the ones hanging out there. He was busy and in another section of the apartment. That's what you knew from the last time you'd caught sight of Derek from your position. And that's why Joel went through your entire body when a low voice signaled your ear. Salem. You quickly turned your rigid neck to glimpse behind you. Derek was there, resting his arm across the top of the edge of the couch. He had swung back around while you were looking. As you processed the situation, Derek grinned cheerily, unapologetic about the shock that his move gave you. A soft thumbs up could be heard in the air. It wasn't your heart though. It wasn't your heart though it might have been. The guest on the other side of that couch was just tapping heels together. Should we tell people now? He didn't need to explain what he meant. You and Derek had one momentous event, and that no one had been aware of yet. The move. Yeah, it's probably for the rest to let them know. Yeah, you telling you, Wester. I'll handle it. They're naturally supportively. He bowed out, so the stage is yours. Clear your throats to get everyone's attention. And you did succeed in getting every eye on you. Zedek is gonna move into my place so we can keep living together. Baby. The crowd gasped, then went quiet, but now for a lack of feeling. Emotions were palpable, but what emotions they were was hard to say. The first to express anything was Ma. It's lovely that the two of you will have each other right there. Agreed. Salem can always use another person to lean on, especially someone like Dennis. He's trained for that kind of work. Moving is a big deal, but I don't doubt your commitment. I appreciate that. Derek could accept the words from your parents boldly. A hint of guilt crept in when it came to face his family. But he had nothing to fear. Shore's family had let the eldest go once before, and they'd return for a time. The second separation was easier. Confidence was confidence was there that they would see each other again someday. I've loved having you here, but I'm happy seeing you grow and be happy yourself. Even if that means you have to go somewhere else.
Yes.
Yes, I believe Dedek needs a change.
Take care.
Good luck, bro. I'd tell you to look out for each other, but I don't have to. You definitely will. You had nothing to fear because of those guns yet! True! This is facts, Moon! Nico hopped but agreed with the overall sentiment in his own way. I'm an adult. I'm gonna go wherever I want, whenever I want, and no one will be able to stop me. Dennis gotta have that right too. When you grow up, you do that already. Nicholas's childish snicker was the true sign of maturity. His big brother planned to leave, and he could embrace it. It's gonna be even more. It's gonna be even more in the future. I'm probably gonna travel the world or whatever. Wait, oh sorry, that's Nicholas talking, not Dedek. It's probably gonna be more in the future. I'm probably gonna travel the world or whatever.
Awesome.
That's awesome, Nico. I know you will. And thanks, bros. You too, Mom and Dad. It was amazing and relieving to be understood and supported so much. You were more certain of your choice than ever. The wholesomeness of the moment wouldn't have been completed if it was only sweet. Liz cut in with a dose of snark that made the taste perfectly right.
Seriously?
Jeez, after 10 years of no progress, you're going at a light speed now? You're going at light speed now? Well, we were just storing up all our momentum for the right side. Now we've got the means to move full speed ahead. He has nothing to fear because it's very wholesome. Damn, Liz! Exactly, Moon. Just... Exactly. Laughter and lighthearted conversation continued within the walls of that apartment. Everyone was ready to pitch in with the move and had just to offer. And then everything was put on hold for the third time. The doorbell rang. Dinner's here! Furball. Nicholas made a beeline to the door. His two older brothers had at his heels. They gathered all the spoils from the delivery. From the delivery driver, gave him light things, and promptly closed the apartment door again. Why is this game making me thirsty? I don't know. Why are you thirsty? Go drink some water. Go hydrate. I think Moon needs a hydrate redeem. George and Nicholas peered into the semi-opaque lid to figure out which drink was there. Dedek especially handed you the stuff you got for yourself. The feast was laid out on the counter, steady, steamy, and very tasty. Dedek stood between the guests and the meal to make a declaration. Alright, everyone in my house. So the youngest going first, the oldest do. Oh! Does that mean the parents are going first?
Good.
Yes. Respect our elders. God, I love Liz. Liz is probably my favorite. Liz? And, Liz and Lee are probably my two favorite characters in this whole game. How kind.
That's...
I can't believe I'm considered an elder. How did I get so old? Ma and Ma offered comfort and condolences. They'd been members of that club for many a year. When they're Asian. I mean, to be fair, Liz is Asian. She's Filipino. All the grown-ups filed through as the big grown-up group. At that point, their lives determining who was the oldest of the old wasn't worth the trouble. Switch to the brown. Oh my god. Where they picked over the cream of the crop, Liz made a clean sweep all on her own. You and Dedek went together next, followed by George. I believe Liz is the only person confirmed with her ethnicity. No, that's not true. That is not true. Lonnie, aka Ma, is native Hawaiian. We know Ko's mom is white. It was never confirmed what his dad is, and I don't know if it was ever confirmed what Dedek is. Yeah, I don't think that was ever confirmed, and if it was, I don't remember it. Finally, Nicholas's turn came. His mouth was closed in amusement. Being last was a novelty, and he took his sweet time picking out the slices he wanted. Why not? He wasn't holding anyone up. Eventually, Nicholas selected his dinner, and the chairs around the apartment were filled with happy guests whose plates were equally full. It was a relief to see your Dedek's big announcement hadn't impacted anyone's appetite. Good food and pleasant conversation were enjoyed at Casa Dedek. Nico went back to the boxes for seconds and thirds without needing anyone's permission. After eating, George moved from the table to chat with Liz away from the parents. Nicholas abandoned the last bites of his fifth piece of pizza to scurry after his big brother. Dedek stuck next to you as a rule, but there were cases with an exception. But there were cases with an exception was needed. Well, this is your party, and Liz is sort of. I won't hog you. You should see everyone who's here to see you. I'll be around. Derek didn't belabor the point by calling it what it truly was. Your farewell party. The point stood still. These were the final hours in Prism Vista, and with both of these families, you'd see each other again, but no one could say exactly when. The time you had right now wasn't to be missed. Yeah, I will. Thanks. He took a step back with a nod and a wave. He at least was someone you'd certainly see again soon. Let's check on our parents. Your parents remained at the dinner table, sipping on their water bottles and pretending to be nonchalant. They sent too many fervent glances between you and Liz to be convincing. Hello, sweetie. Hello, sweetie. Like, I guess that's more of a Kira voice. I don't know anymore.
Hey.
Hey, welcome over.
How are you?
What's happening? Hi, I just wanted to see how you were doing. We're great.
How sweet.
Aww. We've been having a wonderful time. You know this trip was for you and Dedek, but I'm still grateful Pam and I could be here a little. Ma wrapped an arm around you. Ma wrapped an arm around Mom. Ma wrapped an arm around Mom with a light chuckle. Mom leaned her head gently into her wife, and they both beamed. Do the ara ara, mommy. What? I'm sorry. The fuck did you just? Time together is more important than time apart. Time together is more important than time apart. Every bit counts. Well said. I'm just saying, I'll miss you.
Aw.
We'll miss you too, kiddo. Very much. Ma wrapped you into a big hug, and you felt the weight of another person in her arms. You realized Mr. Holding got pulled into. Your parents held you tight for another minute before letting go. Like Dedek before them, they didn't intend to monopolize you forever. You left them to their own amazing company and drifted back towards the front of the living room. Let's see. Why are people suddenly calling me mommy? That's just weird. What? See, Mrs. and Mrs. Schwartz. Dedek's parents were contently sitting together on the couch, watching the scene of their children and friends gathered together in one place was a rare joy. But when you approached, Mr. Schwartz picked up from his peaceful reverie. He squished against the Mrs. padding at a free spot on the cushion. Oh, I was gonna say what? Oh, brother. I'm confused, Moon. Mrs. Schwartz had to physically support her husband in the invitation by catching his shoulder. Otherwise, he would have toppled right over into her lap. She laughed over that dynamic infringement on her personal space. Thanks, don't mind if I do. After all the effort in order to make that available, you couldn't reject the hospitality. You popped down onto the pre-warmed cushion. Mrs. Schwartz looked past the man groomed over her as if he was not currently attached at the hip and made eye contact with you. I think I'm too tired right now. Moon, be a good boy for me and go to bed. Hey, baby. I hope you've enjoyed your big city vacation, Salem. I definitely did. Have fun. See you next time, Kitten. Have a good sleep, Moon. Keep it 100. Glad to hear it. As the pleasantries faded off, the Schwartz spouses shared a meaningful glance with each other. The weight of the occasion hadn't been forgotten. You are one needy boy. Yeah, you are. While we've while we've gotten here, there's something I want to say. Did you know Giorgio and I met at a similar age as you and Dedek? Technically.
That's true.
Mrs. Schwartz patted her husband's leg unconsciously, while the gleam of a storyteller sparkled in her eyes. We attended the same high school at 40 or so, at around 14 or so. Sorry, not 40. Though we never landed on the other's radar until senior year. He and I shared a class here and there. We did not run into the same social circles or have similar extracurricular pursuits. I almost missed her. Can you believe that? I cannot. What would I have done with my life then? Sometimes I wonder. Perhaps you'd be living in a mansion somewhere in the hills?
Well then.
Isn't that so? It is a fate worse than I feared. The longtime couple tittered and smiled rosily over one another. Meanwhile, you leaned in closer. Ears perked. The topic intrigued you. How had Dedek's parents come together? Are you gonna sit down? You didn't interrupt in order to ask. You knew with certainty that Mrs. Schwartz would explain without prompting, as she did. You see, Salem, Mr. Schwartz is a well-meaning man, but when he gets a lot of compliments, he believes them. There's no end to how big his head can get. Dedek may have mentioned this to you, but Rio, as he was called in the glory days, was on the football team. The words football team were said with a mocking exaggeration, as though she could stop the explanation there. It was obvious where that was going. He and all his other footballer buddies had quite the egos, and were such a clique. One completely random day in the cafeteria, him and the boys were acting like gods on earth. They thought were acting like the gods on earth they thought they were. They talked big, and it was all crap. Oh damn, Mom, calling up. I spent my life tuning the whole set out, but that time I must have been sitting closer to the noise than the normal or unusually petty mood. Whatever the reason, I began to gab with my own friends intentionally loud enough to be overheard. I said with exaggerated wide-eyed innocence how strange it was that the jocks acted as if they were the greatest men alive. How did they come to such a conclusion when they've seemingly never spoken to a single person outside of their team? What do they know about who's better than anyone else? Damn! She coming hard on her husband! Folding her arms and bouncing her shoulders, Mrs. Schwartz still felt self-satisfaction over that one decades later. The team noticed me, mostly giving me the stink eye, except for one, who could only be described as befuddled. I continued on, pretending I had no idea what was happening at the next table over. We were having plenty of fun on our side of the crowd until all of my friends went dead quiet. That got me to check again. You act cute, you get kisses. That's how this goes, Angel. One of the footballers had overcome. One of the footballers had come over. He was built like a broad brick, though his face was anything but hardened. Too goofy and almost boyish for that. It was Rio, the linebacker, of course. Come here. Come here. Yeah, I gave you kisses. What are you gonna do to stop me? He leaned over the table and said in his low, somehow booming voice, "What do you think of me? Am I not great to you?" Seriously? Irene and you were suddenly peers, sharing a fluster over the brashness of some strange football men. You snuck a glance at the star of the scene. He was playing as naive as Mrs. Schwartz had all those years ago, listening quietly and twiddling his thumbs. Yes! I couldn't believe it! I wasn't expecting any of them to actually care about my opinion. The obvious thought would be that he was trying to intimidate me, make me take it back, but he asked with so much earnestness, I didn't even consider that a possibility. I shot out instantly that I don't like you. I don't know you, but I couldn't say I wouldn't like a man simply because he was on the football team. That's pathetic. Ping-ponging from the shock of indignance, the outpouring of emotions drew to speak. Irene couldn't be worked up no longer. She wasn't really a young lady recounting this for the first time. She knew the end of her tale, and despite being grown up, it still put a schoolgirl smile on her face. Well, Mr. Schwartz here had such a frown when he heard that. Truthfully, Derek looks the exact same way when he feels rejected, so you likely understand the position I was in. Someone so bright and bold with a face like that isn't right. It's as if all the joy in the entire world had vanished. That was too much. I looked at him straight in the face and I said I wouldn't give him the time of day for that. But I might be willing to get to know him sometime because he was decently handsome. These two are so adorable. I love them. Of course, that soothed Rio's delicate soul, and he said, "Then we should do that. We are people who should know each other." When he grinned down at me, I knew this was more than I bargained for. I better prepare. If he didn't forget about me, I wasn't sure if I'd ever have it in me to give up on him. But so far, it's never come to that. And it never will. So cute. Rio had been so quiet the whole story. He simply needed to burst in at the end. I cannot remember seeing Irene before that day in the lunchroom. Yet as soon as I did see her, I knew I wanted her to think well of me. If she didn't, I must have been doing wrong. I am thankful. Will you approve of me still? Even as I sneak our son's extra treats and cheat with video games. I can't be a bad man if Irene can look past it. That's right, you're a good man. God, why do these two have to be so wholesome? The sweethearts were completely enamored and absorbed with one another. Yeah, Mrs. Schwartz managed to pull her focus off the stud of her heart to address you again. It had to be serious. Thank you for listening to my self-indulgent story. What I really wanted to tell you is that I'm relieved Derek found someone who appreciated him for who he is. The weight of those words fell over you. She knew what happened with Derek, and she knew that you were with him regardless of what happened with his career trajectory. As his mother, it meant a great deal to her. Welcome to the family, Salem.
Of course.
I am certain things will go well with the arrangement. Thanks. I probably would. Listen, I'm an emotional cat. Hand in hand, the two wonderful people who raised you. Hand in hand, the two wonderful people who raised your amazing friends smiled over you. Got to enjoy a little more quality time with Mr. and Mrs. Schwartz. Eventually, they requested a moment with their eldest child, likely to share the same sentimental matters with him. That was something you'd stand in the way of and made room for the two of them to go have a special parent-to-child in the chat. Oh, let's join up with the boys. Liz. Oh, and Liz. Boys and Liz, I guess. Join up Liz, George, and Nico. George, Nicholas, and Liz were gathered in a corner of the room, fully engrossed in conversation. George's hand batted in the air between the group as Nico jerked a finger about. What's up, you three? You were welcomed by the circle with friendly smiles. George folded his arms and switched from one explanation to another. Nicholas was giving something to the effect of a recap to Liz. While talking about the trip, we realized she'd yet to hear about our new interesting acquaintance, so she was being filled in. Apparently, the Xavier person running some bakery used to paint faces at the boardwalk? Small world, hmm? There's no end to the odd connections you end up making with people. Yeah, we were getting philosophical. Yeah, we were getting philosophical. I'm lucky I got to meet each one of you. Yeah, it was almost as weird as meeting that dancer kid again.
What?
Who? Baxter. Baxter. Me and Dedek met him once at a summer soiree, and then 5 years later, he rented a condo on the same street as me and recognized me. Remember Baxter, Liz? The monochrome man? Monochrome man? Excuse me. The monochrome man? Yes, that was him. The younger boy stared blank-faced. More confident in their understanding than they were a minute ago. Your sister was satisfied, snickering into her palm. Besides all that, I have to say I'm surprised Nicholas was the one who reconnected with Xavier. Wouldn't he struggle to recognize them? Considering the fact he was asleep the entire day. I fell asleep and got my face painted, thanks. I've been to that boardwalk more than once. I didn't conk out every time. Try a better tease. Damn. And this is why I love Nico. He's freaking great. The dare was meant for Liz. That's what he'd readied himself for, and why he spoke with boldness. Alright. Unfortunately for Nicholas, however, it was George who took on the challenge. Speaking plainly, with a mischievous twinkle deep in his eyes, you knew it wasn't gonna go well for his little brother. Oh, this is gonna be good. Also, why is my body turned? Hold on a second. Let me fix this. There we go. The only reason Xavier was able to recognize you out of any of us is because you're still a little kid, just taller. How's that? Oh. Nico pouted. That round, he had no comeback. However, he did have a new strategy. Nicholas looked to you, his only potential ally, and pleaded like the child he insisted he wasn't. The irony was lost on Nico, and he intentionally played to that. Salem, these two meanies are ganging up on me. Okay, we have to defend the baby. Alone, he's a sweet boy. Well, George has a point, yeah. Certainly George and Liz haven't changed either, I'm glad. At 6. Leave Nicholas alone. He's a sweet boy. Right? I'm flawless. Salem says so. I'm sorry. We have to defend the baby. But she said you were a sweet boy. Are you complaining about George calling you a kid? I'll let that one pass. You, Liz, George, and Nicholas laughed together and continued to chat on the mysteries of life. None of them said this was goodbye, but when the evening wore on and you needed to move away from the sibling group, the CUs shared between you meant more than usual. You'd work the room, made your rounds, and had a few minutes to yourself. You used to think and reflect. There was a lot to consider. Life was barreling forward for you. Unfortunately, no inner peace or full understanding of the universe came while you zoned out in a corner. Perhaps as a consolation, you were rewarded with Dedek returning to you after finishing his talk with Mr. and Mrs. Schwartz. He had an idea.
So?
Hey, want to get out on the balcony? Get some fresh air? Same as he did when he first parted ways with you. Derek pointedly left the most crucial part of his motivation unsaid. This might be the last time you had a chance to be alone together before you had to go. Okay. Cool. You quietly went to the sliding glass panels at one end of the living room. Dedek opened the door and leaned aside. Of course, he wouldn't go through himself. At least not at first. After you. You obliged graciously in the special ritual Dedek and the people he... You obliged graciously in the special ritual between Dedek and the people he cared for. Thanks. The event was still alive, with small pockets of conversation. You and Dedek managed to slip away without notice. As soon as you walked out, a warm evening breeze caressed over your body. It carried the sharp sun of the ocean and the delicate perfume of the flowers who made their own home at Dedek's place. Dedek ignored Dedek ignored the one lonely chair on the veranda and rested against the rail exactly as he did the first time. On the horizontal scene gleamed like molten gold, encasing a city of silver. You leaned against the railing too. This is something I would do. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, really leaning against the railings on balconies just feels great. You know what I mean, cats? You know what I mean? Out there, he had his spot, and you had yours. All was as it should be. The seemingly endless expanse in front of you with nothing more than a few thin bars between you and it was a welcome sight. With both of you settled in, Dedek grinned as if it was another day, or rather because he couldn't help smiling at you no matter the circumstances. Salem, I owe you an apology. Or at least an explanation. No, both. You blinked as if there was one thing you could count on. It was that Dedek Schwarz wouldn't do you wrong. Not intentionally, anyway. Huh? What about? Well, that's obvious. I had asked you to marry me in a way, and I almost didn't realize this was the year it was supposed to happen. How inconsiderate can I get? That outburst sapped him of all energy. Dedek's shoulders slumped, and his tone dropped even lower.
It's been a long time.
We've been apart for so long. Looks like I was in denial about how long. Days, weeks, months, and years just went by before I even knew it. I couldn't beat the deadline already. I thought, no way. Especially with how not grown up I felt, and how non-figured out everything was. But it was true. The summer we were 23 was the year I picked. Is it good or bad timing that this marriage pact plan coincided with my career crisis? I don't know. The rhetorical question lingered, then a bit of humor returned to Dedek's darkened features. Actually, I do. It is for the best that it all happened now. We could work the whole mess out in one. Miss on one. Though that was also part of why I lost sight of things. I don't want you to think it meant nothing because of that.
I swear.
It's not like it didn't matter to me. It mattered so much. I couldn't even face it. I had to run away. Dedek almost cracked from the self-imposed pressure. His voice did break. Asking you to marry me if there was nobody else, if there was nobody else, wasn't the one of those wild impulsive stunts I pull sometimes. I really thought it through. As in, I thought through all the ways I could maybe be with you without daring to just ask you to be with me.
The truth is,
I hinged a lot of hopes on that plan, but it was wishful thinking to see it as a solution. It doesn't work that way. so sweet. This gaze parted from yours. Yeah, nothing in particular to ask to his attention. So Derek was simply staring straight ahead. It was fun testing out our capability ahead of the deadline, but I'd like to kindly suggest both parties agree to the end of the contract.
Sorry.
I don't want my life to be based on something like that. It isn't right. Derek looked at you again through wistful-lidded eyes. It was the end of being almost fiancés. That meant, however, it was the beginning for a new dynamic. You held your breath and waited. You held your breath and waited for what he'd say next. Well, you probably know how I feel. I agreed to date you and potentially marry you if it all went well. In a way, that makes this easier. I've got to thank my younger self for working up enough nerve to break the ice. His voice was low, dangerously close to inaudible. You didn't want to miss any of it. Still, I'll do things directly from now on. Derek rolled his shoulders, then stretched his neck from side to side, and lastly put on his game face. Salem, there's something I've thought about for a long time, even before we made that deal. Yes? I'm listening. Thank you. But first, I've actually got something else. I've actually got...
Seriously great.
But first I've actually got to say something else.
You're seriously great.
It's that you're incredible. I can always count on you. And when we get to be together, it's some of the best moments of my life. Doing chores and running errands, making me feel so much less shitty over how I quit. And I can also mention can I also mention real quick how cool it was that you cared about me and what I was thinking instead of pointing out that I was irresponsible or wasted such an opportunity. That was a big deal to me. But the smaller things matter too. You stayed up even later to help me when I absolutely had to put those groceries away right then. You laughed without reservation, talking about when you had a way of bringing out his boyish enthusiasm. On top of that, you're good to my family too. Even when we get dramatic and have our issues, they're a major part of my life. Always will be. So seeing how you get along with them is, well, let's say it tips the scale for this even more. A special something danced inside his bright green eyes. He embraced fully what he was actually doing. The truth is, I am not adorable, Fred! Fuck off with that bullshit! These words had already moved you deeply, and you had to brace yourself before he took the ultimate plunge. I wouldn't want us to be together because there was no one else. But because there is no one else, I'm doing good. How are you, Fred?
I love you.
Ah! Oh my god. on too. Since the original day of the deal, and even before that, we're as alive as ever. I want to be with you. I also kinda like having that deal. I'm just gonna say I love you too. Woo! In the thrill of the moment, Dedek's excitement got the better of him. He leapt into the air, bounded from one end of the balcony and back twice, and finally planted himself directly in front of you.
Oh, man.
Somehow, I still wasn't totally confident about what you were gonna say, even though you also already agreed to try dating me. Dedek beamed at you with his most confident and dazzling grin. And now that I think about it, we should do something to seal this new deal. His eyes were alight. Could you maybe do sit-ups on the floor? Now, could you kiss me? Yes, I can! It was deeper, it was deep, and it was hot! And it was very spicy. And it was also very romantic. He took your hands into his without hesitation. You gripped him back and leaned closer. He met you halfway. Your lips touched, first slightly, then with more certainty, more desire. You were pulled at the end the entire time. Oh my god! It's a shame I missed like his entire route. Yeah, I think this is the end, I think. For the first time you'd ever kissed Dedek was that day, hanging out at the old park and making plans for the future as well as you could then by making that backup deal. It was still important. But this one, a reciprocal kiss born from a mutual affection, was the very best you'd experienced. However, you had a feeling there would be many chances to outdo it in the days, weeks, and years to come. A freshly official couple enjoyed the comfort of the other's presence in bliss. It was the very first breath of your true relationship. And then a swooping sound snatched your attention away from Dedek. The sliding door had been opened. The youngest son skipped in as if invited. The middle child followed after. George was less cheeky but equally unrepentant. Hi, Dedek! Hi, Salem! Hello. What's going on? Get out of here, kids! Both of you, shoot, shoot! Get out! Now! Derek flung his head back and groaned. He let go of you with all the begrudging frustration of a teen boy caught He let go of you with all the begrudging frustration of a teen boy caught you canoodling under the bleachers by the teachers. Not again. Canoodling? What a word into. Who the fuck uses the word canoodling? There's no privacy anywhere, even in my own house.
Hey.
Nicholas handled the childish display with an unearned airs of maturity. His poise was tall, and he caught an accusing finger through the air. You're the one who invited us over. If you wanted to be alone with Salem, why did you throw a party with several other people? You know, He has a point. That was a strong point. Worse still for Derek. George had an even better one. Honestly confused by his big brother's reaction, he plainly stated a key consideration. This whole side of the apartment is glass. We could see everything happening without opening the door. Coming over feels more polite to me than watching from the inside. God, why were you watching at all? The fuck? At that, Dedek snorted a laugh. He was less ashamed of what you were doing than Nicholas for interrupting him.
I see how it is.
Fine, it made sense to get together one more time before she left. But I'm regretting being so reasonable now. One of these days, we might learn to be self-centered, and then you'll be sorry. Oh God, I cannot read English. How do people do cold reads? They're so hard.
Sorry.
I kinda doubt that. The part about you ever being selfish, not us being sorry over it. The part about you being, oops, I kinda doubt that. The part about you being selfless, not us being sorry over it. English is a very broken language. Yeah, sorry bro, that's not happening. Oh, don't be mad, Zedek. I'm happy to having George and Nicholas around. I forgot how much of a problem this kind of thing was. You left. Aw, don't be mad, Dedek. I'm happy having George and Nico around. Yeah, take that, Dedek. Salem likes the Schwarz men. Well, men and boy. I'm sorry, you're still a child.
Thanks.
Thanks, Salem. See, this is the real reason why I can never be spoiled. These two hog all of that kind of attention. Oh my god, something's irritating my face. But that couldn't be the end of it. Trouble came in threes. Your own sibling appeared from behind. She leaned against the doorway, leering at the scene. Romancing out in the open while your siblings and parents were right there? I had no idea you two were so indulgent. Liz! Oh my god. I love her sister. One rotten apple spoiled the rest. Nicholas and George had originally barged in with pure intentions of being with you. Now they were snickering over Liz's jabs at your and Dedek's expense. Angel! Off the table! Off! Thank you! I'm bad at this. I'm sorry we couldn't babysit you the whole time, Liz. I'm gonna say, I'm a bad influence on him. I think it's a good kind of bad influence. Yeah, my little fatty. Of course this happened. Why expect anything else? That's what Dedek's rarely lifted a brow seemed to express. A good bad influence, yeah. Yeah. Exactly. You No, we were just talking about how self-absorbed I am, and we were just talking about how self-absorbed I am, and how it's not enough, in my opinion. From even further in the house, and Mr. Schwartz had a hand and popped over your sister's head. Yeah. Here's my little baby. You don't have to go. You can, or stay. You can go. Excuse me. It's okay. We're fine on our own. Enjoy your time together. Your parents were bursting with laughter and effectively trying to model that staying quiet would have been less obstructive than enjoying the situation.
Really? Really?
Oh, really? God. Your trouble estimates were proven to be highly underestimated. It didn't come in 3, it came in as many amounts as physically possible. I'm gonna need you to go. Thank you. Mrs. Schwartz came to her husband, clearing a path through Liz, George, and Nicholas.
Excuse me.
Excuse us. She squirted him back to the couch without fuss, but no amount of cordialness on her end could smooth out this 3-ring circus. Dedek rarely saw the reflecting forms of his abashed parents, or your mom's and Mr. Holden's giggling fit in the distance, or even the sight of siblings watching and waiting for what would happen next. His arms were folded and his brain was working. You and he had become the center of the universe, and that wouldn't do. In the end, Mr. Reliable himself went for the oldest, Mr. Reliable himself went for his oldest and most reliable solution to awkward situations. Hey, look over there!
What?
At what? While the others were clearly distracted by Derek's fantastic ploys, said Mastermind slid nearer to you and whispered intently. Run. You nodded imperceptibly to everyone, but Dedek, whose focus was set entirely on seeing that gesture. Your two Derek's hands. Your hand found his and his yours without tearing your eyes from the target and escape route. Off the front! You dashed through the opening left by Mrs. Schwartz, speeding by Liz before she could block the way again. The elders were shocked. The younger ones were shouting, but you didn't stop. Through the gap in the sliding glass door, past couches and out the apartment's entrance, you and Dedek ditched the whole party in a blink. Together you flew down the stairs. There was no patience to wait for an elevator. Once on ground level, you exploded through the last set of doors in your path and onto the sidewalk, leaving your laughter and joy in your wake. You may have escaped the building, but who knew if they'd follow you out? That wasn't something you'd put past your siblings. Definitely not. The hand gripping yours still held tight. Dedek encouraged you along, beaming wide. Let's go. You grinned at him just as sweetly. Friends, lovers, partners in crime, formerly conditional fiancés. No matter the circumstances, you and Dedek were always a team. And together, you were unstoppable. In Dedek's bright eyes, you saw reflections of your past. at that first day you met when you're that first day you met when he bounced up to you so unafraid. The time he'd much less bravely bolted from a very cross Elizabeth. Your grand exit from a different party, one you hadn't been invited to. In that moment, you arrived in the Prison City bus station such a short and long time ago, when he'd come running for you. Each happy moment you experienced became only a memory of what used to be. But that's what life was, and it was okay. Right then, you were running side by side. You wouldn't take it for granted. You wouldn't waste the chance. Instead, you would keep going for as long as your feet could carry you. As it should be, you and Dedek took another step forward, and then another. Forward and forward and forward, down the glistening city street, and towards the rest of your lives. Aww, that was sweet. This was a cute ending. Aw, that was so sweet. I liked it. Now we gotta do Axis Row, but first, we're gonna be playing more, what is that game? Starcrossed at some point. So. Thank you all so much for coming to the stream this, what time of day is it? Morning. Thank you all for coming to the stream this morning. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. As much as I did. God, I can't English. If you're watching this as a VOD, be sure to like and subscribe. I am on Twitter and Tumblr if you would like to follow me. If you like what you see here on my channel and want to financially support me, I have a Stream Elements page. Or, if you want to help me get Angel to the vet for his ears, I have a Ko-fi link below as well. I also, for those of you who do not know this, I also do blow writing commissions. So if you're interested in that, I have a Google Doc with my TOS, my prices, and where you can reach me. But that's it for me this morning. Until next time. Remember. There is an anime hottie for someone. There's a fictional anime hottie for someone. I'll see you guys this evening on Twitch. Have a good rest of your day, everyone.